Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Monday. Week, God knows. 13? I don't know.
500.
500. Yeah, this year's been a million years long. How about that? This is going to be a quick one because we don't really want to talk about babies getting separated from their families. No, we're going to do it quick then. So, announcements, keep at it. You're all doing great.
Midterms are due.
No, they're not. I haven't turned them in. Stop it. Okay, 30-second recap. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Photosynthesizing pterodactyls are the wave of the future in this water world where people live on a research station that keeps getting attacked by the revolutionarios, the revolutioners, and because they think that everything they're doing is an abomination because what they're doing is genetically engineering plants and animals to like photosynthesize, and they did it to a human, and her name is Ella, and she's awesome. But then Fernanda wants to buy her, and Fernanda has a lot of money, so they don't sell her, they sell her brother.
Time. I feel like you have some feels.
No.
Would you like to start with the Half-Rooted question, or shall I start with mine?
Well, I was going to start with mine because I'm going to do it. So my Half-Rooted question was it ethical to adopt her brother, Ella's brother, to Fernanda, if it meant the continued existence of the research station and all the good work that they were doing.
It's an orphanage. It's not like it's like, oh, that money's gonna like support children. It's
more experiments and turrets, mostly turrets. Yes. So my thoughts were that in general it didn't feel like an adoption. It felt like selling. And I didn't think it was
a real selling feel to it.
It had a real selling feel.
There was sort of a negotiation.
There was a negotiation.
Yeah.
And our main character, Jamie felt taken advantage of because she just negotiated for a human, and she felt like she was just so protective of Ella that was better, but
still a baby. Speaking of which, ours is crying. I'm gonna go get him. You wanna pause it?
I'll pause it.
All right.
And we're back.
Back with Hugo, who also doesn't think you should sell babies.
Don't sell babies.
Okay, so here's my thinking. I was a little concerned about Fernanda because when she first lays eyes on Ella, it described her as standing still and looking at her as though, like, with the look of a raptor. I was like, raptors don't look at things in loving ways. Like, if you're a baby person, you see a baby, you're supposed to be like, baby! Not like, I'm going to eat you. So it just didn't. And later she, like, curtsied and stuff, and that was cool, but I was like, I don't know, she started with a raptor face. Yeah. And that's like a bird of prey. Unless we're talking about velociraptors, which is even worse, because we're definitely going to eat the baby.
Definitely eat that baby.
So, yeah, I was just a little concerned about that. And also just the ethics of the whole thing. Like adoption's a big process. It involves background checks and social worker visits and, like, all kinds of stuff. Not just, like, I have a lot of money, I'll keep that baby safe. And Ella is so sad. It's like, oh, she stopped crying now. But, like, we have a 4-year-old. And this one's only 2 months old. And if we, like, got rid of him, like, he would never be okay.
Would never be okay.
He would never be okay. And he'd always be thinking, like, will you sell me? Are you going to get rid of me? Am I only temporarily here? But at the same time, I do wonder what Jamie's long-term plan was for these babies. Like, was she just going to have a ship full of photosapien babies?
Keep making more?
Was that the plan? Like,
what's her end game here?
She didn't seem to have an end game, so I don't know.
Maybe she picked one bad end game out of...
But I think, like, if she'd wanted to place them with people, like, that could have been done in a more, like, thoughtful way, not just, like, the first person to rock up with $5 million gets a baby.
Yeah.
Well, sort of brings me to my question, which is, why does Fernanda want a photosapien baby? She had some miscarriages. She had, she had a child who lived a really short time and then died. Something involving lung collapse. And it's not clear to me whether that's, like, environmentally all the babies are dying of lung collapse. Like, this is related to, I know there's mention of, like, birth defects at some point is mentioned. So, like, maybe this is environmental, and so only photosapien babies are, like, the babies of the future. But I feel like we'd be hearing about it if there were, like,
no babies.
Yeah. So I don't know why it is that she's like, I really want to have this, like, secret baby who will have to stay hidden from everybody. Because, like, that's also not a normal life.
Yeah, like, you don't want to go into sort of a Rapunzel situation.
So I don't know why she really wants this baby.
I mean, so the only good thing I could think is that maybe Fernanda's really passionate about this cause. And she wants to support the cause, and she also wants something, and so she's seeing it as a win-win.
But like, what's she gonna do with little Christian
sail around the world
Yeah, I guess so.
in her boat with a lot of sun.
But like, just like if he grew up on the ship, like, I guess his childhood wouldn't be normal. But like, he'd have siblings. He'd have like buddies.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's just gonna be like him and Fernanda.
Well, there's still a community of like 80 people. Like it's not a decent sized community. It's much larger than our current community we're offering this baby.
It's true.
Which
Our
is
current community of 4 people,
3,
including himself.
Yeah.
But like she apparently, like, what's she gonna do? She gonna hide this baby? And I don't know. I just have doubts. Like, the project in general seems much better than the Kragers. I'm feeling like it's more like it's got less of a, like, we're gonna destroy the
playing
earth.
God set vibe,
Like,
yeah.
But I just don't know about the distributing babies to rich people.
Yeah.
As a research funding strategy.
As a side note, I get why they have this Solarsaurus, because awesome, sustainable transport, and nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like a win.
Yeah.
But why do we need photosynthesizing people? Like,
What do we what?
Need photosynthesizing people?
They're gonna be more sustainable.
But, like, because they eat less.
They eat less, and they can deal with the heat, I think.
But
I'm not sure.
I guess it seemed like it was solving a problem that isn't the problem. If I think about, unsustainability and whatever has led to this creation of this, like, water world, it wasn't because people...
Still land. They call them the landers.
Yeah, but, like, implying that land is less useful than it was before. Like, there's definitely a sense of more of a seaward shift.
So why are they not water animals?
Well, I was going to say, like, no one would be like, oh yeah, climate change, because humans were so damn hungry. Like, that wasn't actually the problem. Like, we have lots of unsustainable practices within agriculture and food and husbandry and stuff like that.
Making us less hungry wouldn't probably fix it.
But, like, I mean, I feel like we could also meet our nutritional needs
with more beans.
With more beans. Like, there seems like there's more options there that are less dramatic and also, like, don't solve the actual problems. So it was kind of a...
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it seemed cool. Like,
there's also the scaling problem, which is also in Oryx and Craig. Had they actually decided not to, genocide the world, but instead to stick with the Krieger solution, like, you can't scale that up.
No.
And so I don't know what the idea is with the Photosapiens. It seems like it's a really, like, they're just getting on their feet. They're starting up their project. They've got big dreams. But
like, why'd you jump to humans?
That is a good question.
Like, if I was thinking about doing some solar energy, I'd really think about, like, energy production and stuff like that, right? Like
transport's a good one.
Transport seems good.
Maybe there's some sort of agriculture. Maybe we could have more cows that don't produce methane or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But jumping to humans is... The IRB's not going to like that. IRB's definitely not going to approve this.
I think they flooded.
I think the IRB's gone in this world. Which means we're back to, like, non-oversight kind of corporations doing what they please.
Mm-hmm. And, like, just because these guys are okay, like...
We don't know what the next boat along's doing.
Yeah. Because we're supposed to empathize with them.
Not
right?
with the Revelationers.
Which is fair, because the Revelationary... That sounds bad. Like, their whole thing is...
Murdery.
It's got a real murdery feel. It's got a whole, like, AIDS plague feel. Like, it's not a good look on anyone. I just don't know that, like... that because that group is bad, therefore this group is doing the right things.
I think they have the right idea, but you're right about jumping to humans. That seems really premature.
Yeah.
And they registered these humans, these babies, as, like, real, citizens of the world. And so I'm like, which government is aware of this? Which government have you told about this? Is it one of the governments that doesn't care very much? Because I feel like most governments would be like, you did what?
And now it's on a boat? Now your person's on a boat?
Now you pass their title along to the next person?
Yeah, I don't... It didn't seem good.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have time for at the moment, because this baby's about to lose his shit. So, hope you're all doing alright. And we'll be back Wednesday with another story.
Yay.
Alright. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.